banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at what's now known as Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away, and we are underway from Cincinnati. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
Gun. 11, Thomas.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, these two teams, you might recall, met back in mid-season, Week 8 to be exact. And it was the visiting Bengals who came away with a victory in that one, so they'll look to take the season series now here at home in Cincinnati. On 2nd and 9. Burrow, man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down.
Here we go. 11, Thomas.
Now it's Burrow. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. The Bengals at 9-6 now. They were losers their last time out. Trying to get back in the win column, but obviously not an easy task here in a hostile environment.
Yeah, always tough to win away from home. But sometimes what you do is you use these types of games as bonding experiences.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Throughout the game, we're going to track so many different statistics, but one is becoming increasingly in vogue: explosive runs of 20 yards or more, and we just saw one right there to open this game.
Now we'll see how the other team responds, because when you get a play like that against you this early in the game, you got to feel like your back's against the wall a little bit.
Yeah, the pressure now increases on you because your first thought is we have to answer right now.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. The collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They go play action with Jackson. Looking deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20. But for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, you know, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. It'll be a 5-yard pickup there, so from 2nd and 13, they're back to a more manageable 3rd and 8.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Off the play fake. Here's Jackson out to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that third down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They got the ball now following a big play, keeping the other guys out of the end zone. Now they'll start deep in their own territory, 1st and 10. And not much happening there. He's taken down, but a late penalty flag in the backfield. Now, this looks like a roughing call.
Here we go.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time. And you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
The 4-3 defense there did its job, funneled things right to the middle linebacker.
If they do a nice job of playing team defense, everyone takes care of their responsibilities. That allows that guy in the middle to do his job, which is search and destroy.
They go play action now. Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs. A nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Jackson from the shotgun. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. But they'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this third drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of a tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play. And he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
Here we go, here we go.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. This one complete to Scott Miller. And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks.
11 mighty. Stop.
Here we go on 4th down. And some space here. There he goes left side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Well, that's a good-looking rookie right there. I love how he let the play set up and then showed that explosiveness that I saw on tape in college. Remember I showed you the clip of what he was doing and setting up blocks, and then he would just go? We saw it on that play right there. That one was fun to watch.
McPherson on for the point after. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back. So they've got to reward that defense by improving on offense. I don't know if you make a change, a quarterback, running back, tight end, it doesn't matter. They did defensively to stay with the receiver and knock the ball away. I think they had a sigh of relief there because oftentimes when he gets outside the pocket, big plays result downfield.
Jackson running again. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Now it's Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Hunt. Touchdown, Baltimore. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. Finding space at the 40. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Play action. It's Burrow. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Tyus Bowser in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Well, looking back to that first quarter, they struggled, but now here in quarter 2, they seem to have some rhythm.
And it really shouldn't be a surprise to us because when we were in the production meetings, we asked a few of the players about, hey, what if things get a little rocky early? They all said the exact same thing. We're prepared, so we're confident things will work out. And so far, they have started to do so.
Those 3 words we hear a lot, stay the course. Play action. It's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now Jackson. Swings this out for Hunt. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Play action. Now Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
They run for it with Hunt. Oh, look at this play call. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Backed up where they were on this side of the field. That was a gutsy call.
A gutsy call that never should have happened. Not so much them going for it. That's their decision. But where's the defensive front? Where's the leverage? Where's the low man wins? Where's getting into the offensive backfield and spilling the play? How did they permit them to pick up a first down in that situation? He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
No, we changed it. Yeah.
Jackson. He'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
See, man. Let's go. Hey, middle.
Now it's Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he's got room. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 45-yard line. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. To throw again is Jackson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And looking for Andrews, but this is intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and it really...
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime here on New Year's Eve. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. He'll get that out wide to Duvernay. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And that is incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Jackson going to run again. A pitch comes to Dobbins. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return.
And the Bengals take over 1st and 10.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now Burrow on 1st down.
That one taken in by T. Higgins.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 2nd and 11 now. Burrow. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And they're going to get this up to midfield. Jonah Williams, former 1st-round pick, the guilty party.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Here's Jackson.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Watching that play unfold and watching him complete it brought back memories of doing all those pursuit drills to make sure you don't over-pursue and let a guy get a cutback land on you. He did that very well.
You praised him on tape yesterday for the angles that he takes to the ball. Took a great angle right there.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
it's Burrow. Slant route to Miller. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Scotty Miller, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. They'll look to throw here. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. That interception may be the exclamation mark on what really all around has been a good performance.
A fantastic performance. They will enjoy film session. Their grade should be very good on this one. And I think the next time the offense gets the ball, I just think about running it and getting the clock done and getting the heck out of here.
And by the way, semantics here, but before the grammar police come after me, I think it's exclamation point, not mark, right?
You're asking me? Seriously?
Yeah, you're smarter than me. Everybody knows that.
Listen, I go with what you say, my man.
Ready?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Burrow will throw. And he will slide down, but a penalty marker down. And this may be all for naught. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Burrow looking to pass. And out of his hands quickly to Higgins. He's got room past the 30. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
12.
Hands it off out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Adafe Owe there on the tackle. run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Burrow's throw there taken in by Smith. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw as here late in the season, he goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's a handoff out of the gun. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Burrow on 3rd down.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score.
Jamar Chase.
Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Bengals look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And they open the lead up now to 25.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive linemen. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now it's Jackson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailed by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Jackson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 11. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Nick Bosa with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Ravens first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. No reason not to try it there. And they do indeed convert on 4th.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Jackson now. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson.
He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. And Jackson throwing once more.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They'll go for it and run a little touch pass here.
And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
They'll run with Dobbins, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens are able to cut into that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to 18. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with his overall effort.
I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating, even better job of game planning. They're facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground. But both really started to come in sync. So for the Bengals,
they get a critical 10th win on the year with one game left to go.